Plot armor is bullshit. I absolutely hate plot armor. It's dumb, it ruins most stories, and it's the worst feature in anime that has ever existed. It's something I would say if I lacked a little bit of common sense. Now, plot armor is something that keeps characters alive in order to progress the main story. Now, would have Naruto became the Hokage if he didn't have some? No, he would have died in the Haku fight way earlier in the story. Would Luffy be alive to even try to be the king of the pirates? No, he would have died against Big Mom. And Goku is fine as long as he screams to the point that my ears bleed, so he makes sure to power up. My favorite Avengers movie is Infinity War. Now, I know this is a little bit of a tangent, but stay with me. Because that was the one time the plot armor was out of the window. You see everybody getting their asses handed. Thanos is beating everybody's asses, and then he snaps. I remember the theater's reaction. Some people were freaked out, some people were saying what the fuck, and there was a kid crying next to me. But to me, it was the best ending I've seen to a movie ever. It shocked me. I didn't expect it, and to me, it was out of nowhere because death of heroes never crossed my mind. Plot armor has its negative and positives, of course. It can make a storyline predictable, boring, and in general just a waste of time because you know no one is gonna get killed off. For example, Mako should have been dead, Eren should have died a shit ton of times, Usopp would have died thousands of times, Deku should have known how to control his power and it should have destroyed his body to death, and Sasuke spared Naruto one too many times. Now, while every scenario I mentioned has in common is that it cuts the story short, especially Mako. Now, my favorite anime is Kill la Kill, cause that shit's out the window. There's no plot armor, no nothing, although that in itself it gets predictable as the whole story is everybody dying. At some point you can plug 2 and 2 together. But you can't deny that plot armor has its pluses as well. We get to enjoy the anime or movie for more time, we get to experience the adventures that the main character has for longer, and we get to see him power up for the 50th time. Now, I understand why some people might misconstrue the meaning of plot armor. So for example, look at this clip from Berserk. YouTube wants to copyright me for trying to use a Berserk clip, so fair. So instead, I'm gonna draw it. So first we have our main character, which is basically on the brink of death, and in front of him, he just saw this girl character die. So she's just dead. And then there's his red moon. The Skull Knight comes in on a horse, goes to Guts, which is our main character, and leaves and saves him. Now, was it plot armor that the Skull Knight saved him? Absolutely not. This is logical plot armor. This makes sense. It isn't an enemy all of a sudden backing off. It isn't the power of friendship helping everybody. No, it's someone that waited and did save the main character, and that makes sense. So now look at this clip. Was this plot armor?
誰でもない誰でもいたくないって言ってでも本当は俺と一緒で木陰になりたかったんだなねえかよ平和を実現できるのだからなお前本気で言ってんのかそれそうだそう思っているそれが嫌で10秒抑え込もうとしたんじゃねえのかお前やっぱり父ちゃんもカカシ先生も凛って人の思い出も捨てられなかったんじゃねえのかこっちの道へ来て内葉オビトとして木の葉の忍びとしてきっちり罪を償ってもらう
Absolutely. Obito just committed mass genocide, killed millions, and all of a sudden he thinks, oh, you know what? You got a point, Naruto. And I know someone's gonna say it, Tog no Jutsu is bullshit. I'm honestly surprised with the amount of articles unironically talking about it. So let's finalize by saying this. Is plot armor bad? Not necessarily. Most shonen authors just decide not to balance it out, and overall the plot armor becomes so heavy to the point of making the MC have a limp. Now, does that mean having too much plot armor is bad? Not necessarily either. Again, the authors understand the fanbase they are appealing to. When making a shonen, it's aimed at young males, and to be honest, they don't care about plot armor as long as it's a cool story. But with seinen, you get more realistic doses of plot armor. And in my 21-year-old man opinion, it's just a better story when there's less plot armor.